Telecom is such a huge issue here in Oregon for so many reasons. Obviously, if you don't have the infrastructure, then you're not as attractive for economic growth, and cities won't look at you if you don't have broadband, if you don't have 5G and these sorts of things. So it's a critical issue right now, and what we're trying to do as an organization is be that convener to bring together the private sector, the public sector, and again, the government together to come up with a uniform set of standards that we could at least implement for design purposes to get cell towers in place and to get the better networks in place that will really be the driver to lift up Oregon and to get that economic driver going. So this touches all of us. There are some parts of Oregon that don't even have access to broadband, if you can believe that. Some cities, some schools that don't have access to broadband. We're working on addressing that, but it's that partnership that we have to have, again, with the private sector. They're not our enemy. They need to be our partners in this.
The challenge that I see coming forward is 5G deployment and working with communities, because that's our franchise right-of-way, and trying to work with cities to help capture that right-of-way access and be compensated for that. And so we have some serious concerns moving forward of how we're going to be compensated based on these corporations coming in and providing 5G service. Now, would that be valuable to our communities? Absolutely. But it has to be a two-way street, and that conversation currently isn't taking place at the local level.
Coming from rural Oregon, it's a high priority from our standpoint, where you have a lot of industry that does their workload remotely. The faster, the more access. Certainly from an education standpoint, in Eastern Oregon, specifically DMCC, Eastern Oregon University, rely on high-speed interaction. It also allows more intimate connectivity with that education process. And the quicker, the faster, the technology-wise. Eastern Oregon, Umatilla County specifically, is home for a lot of data centers. And so that whole connectivity is from an entertainment standpoint, from a business standpoint. There's just so many facets that makes that so important. So it's a high priority for Eastern Oregon.
We talk about telecom, and 5G is currently the code word that everybody is talking about. 5G would require that local cities, the legislation from the FCC would require local cities to make utility poles available at a rate that we don't think is quite right for the various companies to put their 5G antennas on. So that kind of local control, that's the public's property, and we have a responsibility to take care of the public's property, and the FCC in this regard is not allowing us to do that.
My topic was